Jenna and Katie with Friday Night Cheers.
Hello, and welcome back to a special spooky episode of Friday Night Tears. As always, I'm Katie.
And as always, I'm Jenna.
And this episode is coming out the Friday before Halloween, so perfect timing for all your Halloween parties. We're gonna, spend today talking about Halloween and give you some of our favorite Halloween songs. So this is just coming at a perfect time, I think, for them.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll give you a little bit of a history about Halloween music and talk about some of the Halloween songs that we grew up on and that we really liked. And then, as always, we're going to talk about our on repeats.
Yep. Yeah, but before we get into that, as if those of you that have been following know that we have been on a little concert journey lately.
Yeah, to say the least.
I will say that October wasn't as crazy as we initially thought, because I think that September kicked our butt so much that we kind of canceled some shows.
Yeah.
that we had planned, but we did have an impromptu experience.
And that was really cool. So thank you again to Amelia for putting me up to this. I never really enter contests. So this one, I just was like, why the heck not? So it was for 97X Green Room. You enter, and then if you win, you get to go to their studio and be in the Green Room studio portion of it. And then you get to listen to a band play live acoustic. And that band happened to be Mother Mother, who we just last week, I bought tickets for me and Katie. So I had tickets to see them Saturday, and then we wanted to see them Friday.
Oh my God. It was crazy. She called me Thursday, at around lunchtime. It was like, what are you doing tomorrow between 1 and 3? And I was like, I have a meeting, but I will be there. I will make it work.
I called off work the day before and put in PTO. And in my PTO, I wrote, I have to go. I won a contest.
That's literally what you wrote?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It was so much fun. I also have never won a contest, and not that I won this, but it felt really cool to do something kind of exclusive. I think they played 3 or 4 songs, and then mixed in, they got interviewed by the radio host, Sam, shout out. And it was really, really cool, especially because for those of you that have been listening, you know that we just kind of discovered Mother Mother probably around episode 5.
And it's crazy because we had a realization that Mother Mother has been around since 2004, and they have a really large following.
They're a huge band.
Yeah.
Jenna usually finds super obscure bands and is one of the pioneers of that band. This was not that situation.
Not the case.
We were
not the case at all.
We are so late to that party. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
But that was really, really fun. And then I think that going to that experience made Saturday's concert so much better because we got to hear their mannerisms, their voice, hear them laugh and see them play in a lot more of a intimate environment. And I felt the concert, I was just it was just so much fun. Jasmine, she's one of the vocalists and she plays
she's a riot.
She plays the keys, and at the Green Room acoustic, she was so quiet, didn't hear a peep out of her. like she was mute or something, like just sitting there silent, like very beautiful, just stoic. At the concert, this girl is like, she like
jumping,
shotgun
dancing.
She like shotgunned 4 Red Bulls. Like, I mean, she was just headbanging, and I was like, okay, girl, do your thing.
We loved it. We were here for Jasmine.
Yeah, that was a really fun show. I'll never forget. We got there.
And Molly, oh my God, her voice.
She's amazing.
An angel.
She's amazing. I'll never forget, like, we got there, like, right on time. Like, doors opened at 6. And we've gone to this venue quite a few times, and we're used to just, you know, you maybe wait in a couple little line and you walk in. The line was what, like
wrapped around
6 blocks?
the building? Yeah.
Yeah, we were in line. It wasn't that long. It was maybe like 30 minutes, but it literally stretched 6 blocks, and we were just like, we kept walking and turning. We're like, oh, surely the line ends at this next turn. Nope.
Surely.
Keep walking. Yeah. And that's when we realized, like, I think we're late to the party here. But I didn't know about their TikTok thing. I couldn't really find a lot about it. So apparently Mother blew up on TikTok during the pandemic, which I didn't know that. They didn't blow up on our FYP, but
no.
That's why I guess they've gotten a lot of new fans. So,
and when they asked the audience who's new, it was 75% people new. So I think a lot of these people did hear from them recently, and so we were just late to this new explosion of their band.
For sure, and that's okay. It was really fun. They've been on repeat. I didn't want to put them in my on repeat because it'd be kind of redundant, but I've been listening to them since we left, and it's been so much fun. So thank you for introducing me to them, and thank you for buying my ticket, and thank you for always being down to go to shows with me.
Of course. I'm glad you had fun. It was a really good night. We even took the high road, literally, and went up on the balcony of the venue. And as old people, we thought it was a better experience.
It was amazing. We could sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was super chill.
It was breezy. There was not a lot of people up there. It was like 20 people on the balcony in our area. So yeah, it was nice.
It was awesome.
Super happy.
Super, super happy. And one of their most popular songs, the first one that Jenna showed me, is called Ghosting, and it has some Halloween vibes. So it's good that we're talking about them. Speaking of Halloween, Jenna, I've got some rapid fire questions here for you.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, Jenna is kind of the Halloween queen.
Oh no.
I'd say she's a spooky girl. You have a pumpkin.
No, Freddie would say the pumpkin queen.
The pumpkin queen. Yeah. You have a pumpkin purse. You wore a skull hair clip. You're just kind of a spooky girl, and that's good. Okay, favorite Halloween movie?
Classic Halloween movie for me would be The Shining. I think it's the ultimate Halloween movie. It hits all the elements, suspense, thriller, not a lot of gore, but there is a little bit of blood, but it's just like the ultimate horror movie for me.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't know if I've ever seen The Shining. Is that bad?
No, but we can watch together.
Okay. I'm a big fan of the original Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen the new one.
Me either.
I don't know if I should watch it, but
I've been debating that too.
Obviously Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was like, I don't know if that's like a cult classic, but I guess it is.
Yeah. Well, and then I would say like Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
I'm not really a spooky. I get scared very, very easily. So it's hard for me. Oh no, I have seen The Shining. I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a spooky girl. That's a scary movie.
Well, I know it's scary, but like I think when I think of horror movies or Halloween movies, I put them in separate categories. If I'm thinking of a classic, that's my favorite classic. If I'm talking about my favorite, like one that I can like watch over and over, Nightmare Before Christmas. Or if I'm thinking about one that has the best quotes, Beetlejuice. So like they're all in different kind of categories to me.
I think I really like the Scream, some of the Scream movies. I don't know which ones, but Those are scary to me.
Yeah.
One
with Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
Queen.
I love her. One of my first, I think it was the first horror movie I ever saw was The Ring.
Oh.
That movie's scary. I think I just looked. It came out in 2002, and I think I saw it in theaters. So I was probably like 11.
Oh my goodness.
That's scary.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and being absolutely terrified. It is something I do not want to watch again.
No.
No, I'm good.
Definitely not. Best Halloween costume that you've done, you think?
Oh, it's a good one. I think for me, the first one that came to mind was the one that we dressed up together when I was the dead girl and you were Dexter.
Okay, we have to post a picture of that when this comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think what... Oh, I was an alien one year. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
And one time I was a... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I was a tooth fairy once, too.
Oh, yeah. That image just popped right into my head. I remember that.
Okay, that's it for me. Go ahead.
Mine was probably when I think it was 2018. I dressed up as Russell from Up.
Oh, such a good one.
That was a great one. Yeah. So.
Oh wait, you dressed up as a sheep once.
Oh yeah, I was. I don't know who. I think it was you that helped me make that. We just literally took cotton balls. I mean, come on. Where were you though that day? You were like the Day of the Dead girl or something.
Yeah, I think I was the Day of the Dead girl for like 5 years in a row in high school.
One of my favorite Halloween costumes was one of my exes, Michael, and I dressed up as I was Walter White and he was Jesse Pinkman. And I was the Walter White in like the first season where he has the green shirt and the whitey tighties. That's all I wore. And he was like just Jesse Pinkman, like, you know, thug. Yeah. And we made blue rock candy, like from scratch.
I remember that.
And we went to I don't know if it was a club or a party, and we put it in baggies and tried to give it to people and like, I think like 2 people took it because they knew what we were doing. But looking back, I'm like, why did I suggest that? Or why did I don't know, like, that's such a sketchy thing to do.
I'm surprised you didn't get in trouble.
I know. So yeah.
You're taken back in a squad car, like, what is this?
I know, in my whitey. Why would I go out in public wearing whitey tighties?
I don't know, it's funny.
Or tighty whiteys, whatever. So yeah, we love Halloween and we're excited to share our favorite Halloween songs. But first we kind of decided, you know, what is a Halloween song? Where did it come from?
What even is it?
I would honestly love to know, and I'm throwing you off here, but I would love to just know. I don't know the history of Halloween.
I don't know the history either.
That's crazy.
I do know that Halloween probably comes from like a religious aspect. I think there's definitely a lot of religion in the making of Halloween. That's going to be my best guess.
Okay, here we go. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, unfortunately, we're not a history podcast, so we won't get into that, but we can talk about the music.
We can, absolutely, because music's what we're about.
Yep.
And, you know, speaking of, like, Halloween, obviously the famous, like, This Is Halloween by Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what usually everyone thinks of a Halloween song, but I think it's more than that. I think Halloween music as songs that are popular or leading up to the celebration of Halloween would usually be on, you know, Spotify's Ultimate Halloween playlist or the Halloween party list. You know what I mean? Like, you just put it on. It's like a list of like just random songs that say ghost or like pumpkin in it.
Okay, why did I listen to the Spotify Ultimate Halloween playlist earlier though? It's the first one that comes up.
You fell into the trap.
I did. I know, and you're right. It's all just like it has the, and I'm guilty of one of my songs is like that too, but it's, we think of a Halloween song of anything that has any sort of reference to anything spooky, and it's like, well, maybe, but
exactly. So with that, it's no surprise that we all know Michael Jackson's song Thriller has been the #1 song for all 5 of the top Billboard lists for Halloween music. I mean, it's been everywhere. In every single movie that has like a Halloween theme, Thriller comes on. I mean, you're number 13 going on 30, Thriller. Like, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, I did forget about that, but you're very right. I remember when I was little, my dad would show me the Thriller music video, and I would not be able to get through it. I was so scared.
It's a long music video, first of all.
It's a lot. Yeah,
It's a movie.
I know. But it's scary. But yeah, that makes sense as to why that song has been holding the #1 spot.
To be fair, I do love that song, and it is a good song.
Me too.
So with that being said, there's other popular songs that take in that novelty of Halloween classics. So, I mean, we all know the Monster Mash that is produced by Bobby Boris Pickett. And then, now I want to sing it. The Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
The Mash. The Monster Mash. And then the other song, Ghostbusters. We all know Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Busters. And then, like I said, The Nightmare Before Christmas is Halloween. All just classic songs that you hear every year. But some things you don't think of is the rock anthems, such as AC/DC's Highway to Hell. And then the other song, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. So yeah, those are some songs you don't really think as being Halloween songs, but for maybe another person they are.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is like what makes it a Halloween song. Like,
yeah,
like Christmas, I feel like Christmas is very clear cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like a Christmas song has to talk about Christmas, but a Halloween song, like there are those one, like the main ones that you mentioned, like This Is Halloween and the Ghostbusters and the Monster Mash. Like those are the obvious ones, but there's so many other. I feel like that's the only holiday that you could say that to. Like, like Christmas, it's like, no, this is a Christmas song. Like, there's no debate about that,
Right, exactly. So I think that's why it's so interesting when Halloween comes up and they're like, oh, Halloween songs. But, like, what even is a Halloween song? So the New York Times published an article that summarized all of the trends in Spotify streaming activity around Halloween.
Ooh.
The piece, very interesting. The piece that states that around 2 weeks before Halloween is when streaming activity for Halloween music begins to spike dramatically. But like, of course, who would even listen to Halloween music on a normal day, right?
Yeah, I think that pretty much tracks. Halloween at this point is about a week away, but I started getting a little spooky last week. I'm not going to lie.
You threw on the ultimate Halloween playlist?
Yeah, just a casual, just work from home day, Monster Mash in the background. It's fine.
Monster Mash. So according to that same data, the state that is the most popular for Halloween music is Utah. And I would have not guessed that.
That is literally the most random thing I've ever heard.
It just seems like it would be maybe Massachusetts or Boston or, maybe more of these like Midwest states, but I didn't think Utah.
Very, very random. I guess they just have like cornfields and nothing to do.
Utah? No. Oh. Utah's like a desert like Arizona.
Oh, then I have no idea. No idea.
Utah has those like arch rock formations.
Okay. Then I have no idea.
And the the Amish and the religious group there.
Oh. Well, maybe that has something to do with it.
You think all the people in Utah in that religious cult listen to Halloween music?
Probably. Yeah. I think that's like their, like, they do that like in their, like, when they're alone to maybe like rebel.
The rebelling in music.
They're listening to Monster Mash to rebel.
So, additionally to Utah being the most popular state, people who stream Halloween music are typically white. Ooh,
Which makes
yikes.
sense to the Utah.
And the biggest demographic that listens to Halloween music are women in their 30s and 40s. So, triggered.
I wonder if that's because of the kids. Like, typically they have kids.
Maybe.
Or maybe they're just like us and they're just like, well, we've already lived our life. All we've got left is Halloween.
Well, we're basic white girls, so.
We are.
Pumpkin everything.
Yep.
So while this data really provides a really good starting point on what Halloween music is, it still didn't give me a clear answer to what makes a Halloween song the Halloween song, you know? So the most popular Halloween song as reported by Billboard and Spotify could look like a smorgasbord of musical genres and eras. But where did all this music come from and what makes it Halloween appropriate? Like you said, like Christmas music is clear cut, but why isn't Halloween? So let's dig into some more history of Halloween and their musical trends. Which brings us to, where does Halloween music come from? I mean, we have to dig deeper.
Yeah, I really need to know, and I'm also offline going to do some more research because I just never, like, I know like where Christmas came from and all that, but I just never, like,
Exactly.
Why do we go to people's houses and get candy?
That's the question I ask myself, but it's free, but also sketchy.
Very sketch.
So like the history of Halloween music, the history of the holiday itself is a bit fuzzy, as we could agree. Halloween originated from the Celtic festival, like you said, and it was celebrated in ancient Britain and Ireland. The ancient Celts believed that November 1st was the beginning of the new year and that the night before, the souls of those who have died would revisit their homes. People would set bonfires to frighten away evil spirits and sometimes wore masks or other disguises to avoid being recognized by the spirits.
Oh my gosh.
Very spooky.
That is the spookiest thing I've ever heard.
That's like putting your feet underneath the blanket so the demon doesn't catch you in the room.
I know. Dude. And like back in the day, like, what are we talking like how long ago? Like, I mean, there was no electricity.
No.
Like it was, these were different times, and to imagine people running around in disguises to like hide from spirits, like that is a movie. We need to make a Halloween movie based on that.
You don't think that's already done?
Have you ever seen it?
I don't know.
Okay. That's insane.
All of a sudden now we're directors and producers.
Yeah, this has been fun. Episode 10, we're just gonna
make movies now.
Yep. That's crazy.
But you never know. Maybe we could change up our careers.
Yep. Never know.
I digress. So, during the 8th, not the 18th, the 8th century.
Oh, that was a long time ago then.
Very long time ago. The Catholic Church moved All Saints' Day originally on May 13th to November 1st, possibly in an attempt to replace the pagan holiday with a Catholic one.
They're like, we don't have time for all this devil crap. We need to we're just going to cover that up and we're just going to worship saints now. It's fine.
So this kind of does play into my first theory of it kind of being based around a little bit of a religion.
Yeah.
In addition to exercising control over holidays, the Christian church had strict rules pertaining to music. Makes sense?
Yep.
Although created centuries ago, these rules affect how Western audiences hear music today. The church only allowed composers to use pure and holy intervals in music, like octaves and the perfect fifths. Basically, anything that sounded unsettling wasn't allowed. One particular
Problematic.
unsettling, very problematic. One particularly unsettling interval is called the tritone, whose jarring sound eared its nickname the Devil's Interval.
Dun, dun, dun.
Rumor has it the church banned use of the certain sound during the Renaissance era.
That is insane. Just because it's jarring. The tritone is so jarring that we had to ban it. Because, you know.
And that's history for you.
That is true. It's crazy how far we have come in the world. Like, that's just insane.
So tell me where we're at now and where did the music go after that?
So after the church tried to, you know, ban it, it just kind of chilled for a long time. That when Jenna was talking was the 8th century. We're going to fast forward a lot into about the 20th century. Another genre that I don't know if we'll ever be able to do this one. Maybe. I don't know a lot about it, is the blues. The blues has a lot of connections with evil spirits as well, which I really wouldn't think that. Like, when you think of blues, do you think of evil spirits?
No, I mean, I definitely think of the blues being more, you know, deep and having a lot more meaning. So I wouldn't say the devil, but I definitely would say it definitely has a lot more meaning to it.
I'll also say that I don't know a lot of blues songs, so maybe I'm wrong, but apparently there's a pretty big correlation between blues and the devil. Two pretty popular blues songs have straight up reference to the devil, Cross Rude Blows.
Oh, wait, you know that that like whole reference, like the devil went down to Georgia, but you know, like the I don't know if you've ever seen this episode of Futurama, but in Futurama the robot devil plays like a small fiddle, and that's like the blues. Just thought of that.
That's insane. Futurama is teaching us the history of Halloween without us even knowing it.
That's why it's the best show.
That is. So there are a lot of songs that have like devil references that are blues. And one popular blues artist named Robert Johnson was actually rumored to have sold his soul to the devil in exchange for musical talent. I guess he was just so untalented that he had to sell his soul, and now, you know, he's
far-fetched.
Very far-fetched. Probably didn't happen, but, you know, people like to believe what they believe. Moving forward a little bit, he was actually, you know, one of the biggest blues musicians and kind of turned rock and roll into what it is today, which is pretty cool. So I guess our rock and roll has a little bit of devil in it. And one of the most, like, you know, popular or like defining sounds of the blues is a musical scale called the blues scale, which has like a flat fifth note, which is called the blues note. And apparently when this is played on top of like the scales root, the blue note creates the tritone that you talked about.
The tritone.
So I guess when you lay one note over the other and do a little magic, it makes the tritone. And so the church was further
doesn't like that.
Yeah. So that's just further like reason for them to believe that the blues is devil music.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that is kind of where that came from. So that kind of went on for a while, the 20th and through the 21st century. And that was kind of happening, like, you know, overseas in some of the more European countries. And then something happened in the 50s and 60s where the U.S. saw value in Halloween songs. And, so yeah, that's kind of where the blues came from.
You know, it just made me think of the devil as you're talking about Hocus Pocus, and when that guy was dressed up as the devil and the witches go in there and she goes, "Oh, Satan." And they think it's really the devil.
I love that. Yes. That's hilarious. I need to go back and rewatch that movie. So after the blues kind of had its time, doo-wop actually had a little Halloween moment. Doo-wop is not something that really exists anymore. But one of the first and most popular doo-wop songs was called The Mummy Ball. And
cute.
Yeah, I guess Monster Mash is technically considered a doo-wop. This is the Monster Mash.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So this kind of went on for a while, and once that had a hit, they kind of just started making other Halloween like specific songs, kind of like we were talking about with Christmas. And they just, I guess, doo-wop and Halloween themes had like a nice little mix to it. So they kind of did that for a while, and then obviously like in the 60s and 70s all the hard rock came out, AC/DC and Rolling Stones, and they kind of took what the doo-wop songs were doing and just kind of twisted it a little bit. So like instead of just saying like this song is about monsters, you know, we're gonna say like sympathy for the devil. So it's a little more like, it's a little more ingrained. It's not as Halloween specific,
hardcore.
But yeah, but definitely still having having, you know, some deeper and spookier undertones, which I feel like that's pretty accurate. I feel like there's not a lot of like, I don't really hear any like rap Halloween songs.
There could be, we just don't know yet.
Monster by Nicki Minaj.
Oh, and Rihanna.
Oh, Disturbia. Oh, okay, there we go. I was wrong. So yeah, that's really cool. And then obviously, you know, because of that, there was a big like uptick in Halloween movies, and that's kind of when all the like classic movies started coming about. So, you know, one of your favorite things, what does a good movie have?
A good soundtrack.
A good soundtrack. You love a good soundtrack. And so obviously with the rise and explosion of horror movies in like the 70s and 80s, they had to learn how to create some more of those spooky and like dark tones.
Yeah.
So that's really where the soundtrack thing came about. And obviously the synth is a big proponent in that.
Oh,
you can make
huge
anything
80s.
You can make anything sound spooky with a synth, I feel like.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So obviously Halloween music had a super weird journey from blues to doo-wop to rock. That's crazy.
So I guess in summary, if Halloween is centered around all these themes of the folklore, the spookiness, the fright, and maybe even some of those evil spirits that we talked about, the concept of fear could be still hard to be pinned down. So what we perceive as scary is largely dependent on our culture, right? So you're thinking about the Renaissance era, and the church told the audience to fear the unstable intervals, the tritones. But then in the 60s, the cult classic Psycho frightened its listeners with its stabs of the violin in their soundtrack. So are we scared because we were told to be scared, or is it truly scary?
I know. I don't know. That's a great question. And it's crazy how music can make such a difference in like how you feel, if it's with a movie or like just adding that violin like somehow makes it so much scarier.
I mean, just think that just by listening to something, it gives you so much emotion when you're listening to a love song or, you know, a sad song or something that gets you pumped up. The same thing happens when it's a Halloween song. What was once scary, I guess in retrospect, can seem cliche or campy now. So maybe we're not as scared of those cult classic Halloween songs or the tritones, but maybe there's something new that's scary, a new sound that kind of puts us on edge. And it's kind of still impossible to have that concrete and well-defined genre of a Halloween song because it's the sound changes over time and it loses its fright factor. I mean, maybe the Monster Mash was scary back in the 40s and 50s when it came out, but it's no longer scary to us. It's kind of a silly song.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
So if the unknown frightens us while the familiar makes us nostalgic or maybe at ease, then music aiming to frighten us has to be constantly evolving to capture our attention.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I bet the Monster Mash was super scary back then, but now like we've seen so much scarier stuff that we're just like, whatever. This is just funny now. Like the Monster Mash, but like that's just how people talked back then.
I think I get it now. I think Halloween music is the definition of what scares our culture at that time. It's kind of like a time capsule.
That's cool. It would be really cool to like look at each like from like the 1900s to now, like, you know, the most popular Halloween song, or just kind of like see some different ones and just kind of see like what was, you know, what were we going through at this time? You know, why was this scary at this time and not in other times? That's super interesting.
I agree. Do you want to take a break?
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we each picked 3 of our favorite Halloween songs, and we're going to share them with you, and you should definitely add them to your Halloween playlist. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back, and we know that this weekend you're probably going to be going to parties. If you're like Jenna, you're always put in charge of the music. It's kind of her thing. Yeah. So we each decided to pick 3 songs that we would put on a Halloween playlist. So as you guys know, because of copyright laws, we can't play them, but we'll try to do our best to capture the essence, and hopefully you will add them to your playlist. Jenna, why don't you go first?
So I cheated and picked 4. I couldn't pick between
what?
the 2 songs and Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. I have 2 favorite ones from that movie, and I couldn't pick. But it's... Okay, here's the thing. This Is Halloween is an absolute banger. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But what people don't know is that the Oogie Boogie song is also a banger. It's very underrated.
Are you saying that people have been sleeping on the Oogie Boogie song?
People have been sleeping on it.
I kind of agree with that, because I don't hear that at all. I feel like This Is Halloween kind of takes over.
The guy goes, "You're joking. You're joking." Something that's so funny. Oh my God. You have to listen to it.
I know. I'm going to as soon as we get off this podcast.
It cracks me up. That song's so funny to me, and he's such a funny villain. I love that song so much.
That is it. I forgot about that song, honestly. So you would add both of those to a playlist?
I would. It's just This Is Halloween is so great, but like that one makes me smile. It's funny.
Do you think if you played that at a party, like it would have people laughing and
people would probably be like, "Oh yeah, that's from that movie." It's not as like obvious, you know?
Yeah. No, it would definitely take a while.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
All right, your turn.
All right. My first one is All the Good Girls Go to Hell by Billie Eilish. This is not a traditional Halloween song, but not even because of the title. I know it has the word hell in it, but for those of you that are Billie Eilish fans, you know that she's pretty creepy. Like her tones are just so dark. She always sounds sad and like just kind of, I don't know, low. Like she has just kind of whispering. It's very creepy. And I discovered her only a couple years ago, but this has been one of my favorite songs, and it just has really good dark and creepy vibes. I just think it would go really well on a playlist. It has a lot of references to the devil and stuff, so I guess that's kind of spooky. She does this like whisper thing. She says the line, "My Lucifer is lonely," but she says it like, I'm not even going to try to do it, but when she says that, like I just get chills. I'm kind of spooked.
Okay.
So I would say that
I can jive with that.
Yeah, that's a good one. All the Good Girls Go to Hell by Billie Eilish.
I agree. Okay, So for my next one, this one's kind of a classic one for me as far as what I grew up on. This one's Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band. It's like abracadabra, just wanna reach out and grab you.
Abracadabra.
It's such a good one. I think it
is.
reminds. It was on the Sabrina the Teenage Witch soundtrack.
What happened to that show?
I know that show. Like,
did
was
you
put
love
on
that
daily
show?
For me. I loved that show.
We've never talked about that. I was a huge Sabrina the Teenage Witch fan.
I was a huge fan.
Oh my god, she was so cool.
I loved the cat. The cat gave me.
Oh my god, the cat was so
much happiness.
good. I know.
He was sassy.
He was. Oh my god, that's a great song. I honestly didn't think of that one. That's a really good one.
Thanks.
Yeah, good. All right, my next one is Zombie by the Cranberries.
Ooh.
It's just a good song.
Yeah,
it's a really good song. I know it's not really super Halloween-y, but I mean, hey, it has zombie in the title. We've already discussed that that's all it needs to be a Halloween song. I was listening to it, and I've always kind of realized I never really knew what it was about. Apparently, it is a protest song about two children that died in a bombing in England in the early 90s.
Oh, wow.
And that's confusing because then it's like, so why are you saying zombie? Like, obviously the kids don't come back as zombies, but apparently the word zombie is not referring to the dead children. It's referring to the dead children that populate your mind. The dead bodies you've seen in the images you can't forget. So the song is just referencing those images that just haunt you. Like, I guess for, for the, like, the person, not the person writing the song, but from the perspective of the person writing the song, the zombie would be their two children that died in a bombing. For someone else, it could be, the sight of, when you had a car accident, or, just those images that you just can't forget. That's kind of what the song is about. So I figured that one would be good because it's creepy as hell. And now when I listen to it, I'm going to be creeped.
Wow. Very chilling.
Right? Spooky.
Yeah. I'm very spooked. It's a good song for sure, though.
Yep.
Okay. Last on my list, and it's hard to, narrow down your Halloween songs to a small list, but I had to add this one. Again, another old song, but this one is another one that I kind of grew up listening to, and it's Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell. So it kind of goes, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, whoa. I always feel like
somebody's watching me. Yes. Okay. Love that song. I don't even know if that's considered a Halloween song or not, but it's definitely, it has that, has like that vibe of like you feel like there's always like a stranger around, or like you're being watched, and like you're going up to your car and like maybe someone's in your car, or like waiting behind your door. Like it's very like, ooh, yeah, spooky.
That's so interesting because it has such an upbeat like vibe, but
yeah,
the idea of singing about somebody watching you, like, what the hell? That's so dark and spooky. Like, oh my gosh.
And I don't know what it is, but I associate a lot of my Halloween music with the 80s time frame. It could be that campy and like synth mix that really does it for me. But maybe it's what I'm familiar with, and maybe it's what puts me at ease.
I feel like your parents kind of
influenced me.
Yeah, they turned you on to a lot of that. That's a good one, dude. That's a really good, that's a great Halloween song. All right, my last one is Dragula by Rob Zombie. Do you know this song?
I know Rob Zombie, and I thought I knew this song, and then I looked at it and I'm like, do I know this song? I know his other songs.
I feel like this is a really popular one. It's like yeah,
I know that one.
Yeah, it's just so like yeah, it's talking about someone that's dead. He's the rat is feasting upon the cat.
It's like the down in the ditches and
the
dirt
to the witches and sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a spooky one. It's just like he's just angry. He's like, "Durr!" Like he's just mad, and it just kind of pumps me up. You know, it's kind of like a Limp Bizkit for me. It just kind of, it just.
He's the spooky Limp Bizkit to you.
He is. He's my October Limp Bizkit. So yeah, that's my last one. So I think honestly we did a pretty great job of giving the people a nice variety. We didn't even mean to do that, but I mean, look at our list. It's all pretty different.
Yeah, I like it.
So
we'd make a really good Halloween playlist.
Yeah.
The ultimate Katie and Jenna's playlist.
Yeah, it would definitely trump the Spotify one.
Exactly.
Don't come for us, Spotify. We love you. Yeah. So yeah, on to that. The only other thing we have to do is talk about our on repeats.
So I'm sorry if you had not had a chance to listen to mine. I thought I added it and then I didn't. So if you didn't listen to it, I forgive you.
Okay. I didn't, but I can listen now while you're talking.
Okay. I will say that I did listen to yours.
Okay.
And
I'm interested in your thoughts on mine.
Not only did I listen to your song, I listened to the entire album.
I knew you would like it. Okay. Let me go first then. Okay. My song is by the band Blue October. Now, those of you that are our age probably remember the very, very popular 2 songs by Blue October, Hate Me, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. It is such a good song. And then Into the Ocean. Amazing, amazing songs. And I forgot about Blue October, but they have a new album out this year. And this song, actually, I think it was a different song, came up on my Discover Weekly. And I started listening to the album. And it's very different vibes than Blue October back in the day, right?
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that. Actually, the last time I heard Blue October was in 2020 when they came out with Oh My My, and I really liked that one. So I didn't know they came out with a new album. And so when I was listening to your song, I was just kind of listening the whole thing. And holy cannoli, when Love Isn't Good Enough, that song is
I love that one.
Fire.
Yes.
He adds some what is it, opera in it?
Oh yeah, he's going hard.
This entire album, Spinning the Truth Around, is literally about love and heartbreak and very just some feels. He's in his feelings here.
He is. And it just it just has a different sound though than what I remember Blue October as. Yeah. I knew you would like it.
Yes, the song's very good. It was a good one.
Yeah. So I'm looking up the lyrics to your song right now. You know, I'm more of a lyrics girl. So
you are.
I'm approving of the lyrics. So talk to me about your song.
Okay, I'll talk to you about it. So, ironically enough, I actually heard this song on TikTok.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I was scrolling on TikTok and it's this band called Dury. Their song Who's Laughing Now, and I think they're an indie. I would call them indie because I don't know if they're signed or anything, very low key, but they were playing a song on TikTok, him and this girl, and it just came up and I go, what is this? What is this?
Oh my God, you always do that.
Okay, so it says, hold on. They only have 100,000 monthly listeners. They're siblings. Okay. Formed in 2020. They're siblings. And they write songs that are deeply personal and optimistically honest. And that's what their About Me says. But yeah, I found them on TikTok. I was about the song and I went to go look them up on Spotify and there they were. And so I put it on my liked list.
I just found an interview with them and yeah, they're both really cool. They look awesome. I love these sibling duos, mother.
Yeah.
I could never imagine me doing that with my sibling. Love you, but yeah, no. So I'm just looking at this interview and they said that before this whole thing on TikTok, they had pretty much given up. And before that, they literally were only getting 5 listens per song.
Wow.
And then it just hit, and they said their Spotify number have been up 8,000%.
I'm one of those.
You are.
I made a difference.
You are. You did.
Dury, if you're listening today, do not give up. Your music's excellent.
Oh, if only we could get them. We got to find our first interview.
I would love that.
I'm also in this interview. Dury said that Fred Durst found them and said that
Your boy.
He really supports them. And if you ever need anything, let me know. So my two worlds are colliding here. So love that. And I love that you're finding music on TikTok. That's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, I think we're done.
I think we're done. I think that was one of our shortest episodes.
If we keep talking, we'll make it to an hour.
Yeah, we will. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this. A little different than what we usually do, but you know, we say that every time now because we're just trying new things. So be safe. Check your children's candy. You know, don't
dress spooky.
Dress spooky. Don't drink and drive, and just have fun. You know, and definitely listen to our songs because they're awesome.
And you're awesome.
And you're awesome. And everyone's awesome. And we love you guys. And thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Bye. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.